Welcome back to Straight Talk. So last week we talked about the Turtle Island Theater Company closing, and there's been a bit more, not really news about it, but they received the violations, and they set up a Facebook group, like, support the Turtle Island Theater Company, and someone posted a letter that Kevin Saylor sent to the MCK, and it has those violations in it. And,
there was nothing in regards to what the fire department had sent them, or?
Not that I'm aware
No.
of.
So this information is just from, it's Kevin answering.
No, it is based on, it's based
Yeah, it's
on
based on,
the
like-
report.
That's what I mean.
The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
safety committee sent to them, on what they saw were the violations.
Yeah. And I don't know, some of the violations, they really don't seem like they seem really, I guess, like, petty.
Mhm.
And like the biggest one that I think is obviously like a big safety violation is that there's no, like, sprinkler system or smoke detector system. But do you need to close down a building in order to have that installed?
No, there's band meetings or community meetings at the Elders Lodge. There's no sprinkler systems there. Are they going to lock those doors? The Knights of Columbus don't have it. There's parties there. There's dances there. There's all those. Why don't they put a lock on that door? Why are they doing Why are they doing this building?
So,
Sprinkler system, I don't think, is enough for the fire department to close. Looking at this, I think that the fire department should have said, I'll give you a week or two to try to clean up some of this stuff, and I'll come back to re-inspect it, and then we'll go from there.
Well, yeah,
And then
you know,
we'll go
from a
there. Well, you know
community
what?
perspective,
I think that they have to look at it like that. For them to take a hard line, there's got to be a reason. This isn't, to me, is not enough to lock that door.
how hard of a line is it right now? Is it that you can't go in the building unless they have an escort?
yeah, the doors are locked. You have to be escorted by someone from the fire department or community protection. So, like, even Kevin can go in there to get, like, his work and, like, papers and stuff like that. And
Okay, so no, it's a pretty hard line. The foot came down all at once, and bang. And the indication that I have, just glancing at this, is that nobody said, look, from a community perspective, we don't follow, or we don't have laws in place for this here, but for safety reasons, these are concerns. Let's work together, and let's prioritize, okay, what needs to be met. The number one thing, really, we have to close for now, but get some smoke detectors in, and then we can ease on that and get things going. So nobody apparently seems to be doing that with the theater.
yeah,
Is that correct, or am I making an assumption?
I don't know. It seems like that's the way it is.
Okay, well, because that's something we need to check out.
'Cause I think
And
also,
I'll
like,
put it out there now, though, is that the people who are involved in health and safety is, yeah, you're concerned about people's safety, but be concerned also too about the well-being of the whole community and the people who benefit from the theater. Turtle Island Theater Company,
Yeah, I think people, I guess, lose sight of the fact that, like, the importance of arts in Ganawage, and, like, this is a real, like, I don't know, I think an important part of the community, and it, like, not only, like, benefits the youth, like, involved, but, like, young adults and adults who are also involved, and
I don't know, I think that the fire department jumped the gun on this. I don't see, looking through it, I don't see anything that would prevent that building from being locked up. And then,
So, if
the bigger picture is, what authority does the fire department have to go and put a chain and lock up a building? Under what? Under what are they following? There's no law in this community that gives them the power to do that I know of. I don't know what they're using as far as anything else is concerned, but if we stay within the Mohawk law the situation, if it was my building, I would have cut that off and I would have been in there already. and I would have said, there's no way that you're gonna stop me from coming in this building.
Then that makes like people like liable, like it would make the theater liable if something did happen. And
You know what, the fire department make recommendations all the time to any businesses that are there, and it's only recommendations. There's, because there's no specific law in this community to be able to do that, here are the recommendations in order to fix this problem before I'm gonna give you a certificate of approval or saying that you can do it. This is the first time that I know of that the fire department went in to actually lock a tenant out of a building. What does that come to? Legally, if you go and see a lawyer, all your revenue and lost revenue, you can sue the fire department for doing this.
And they lost a lot of money for closing down 3 shows with multiple performances.
Yeah.
That's like 11 performances.
You know,
But
but
I
there's
mean,
so many people though are involved in this community as far as this is going. I think that a drastic measure like that is ridiculous. I understand all the safety issues. You know, I 15 years I was in the fire department and I was involved a lot in the inspectional part and stuff like that, but we would never have done this. You know what, unless there's something underlying that we don't know about.
Which I think that should be made public.
Right,
But, like-
for what you were saying about laws, the not being in place here to enforce these kinds of closures, because basically it sounds like you're saying, I mean, basically if I was the theater, I could say, I can go
I would.
cut the lock and
And
say,
then what are you
gonna
gonna do? They can't charge you with
And open it up.
trespassing, you're renting the building.
But
The building doesn't
haven't
belong.
there been situations in Kahnawake, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, but I seem to have heard that there was, that the fire department had ended up with problems with some of the social clubs in town, where they don't really have anything to do with,
They can't go in there and do it. The only way the fire department can go in there and say that they wanted to do inspection is if they actually ask them. And they can come in and say, here's your recommendations. Whether you follow it or not, it's up to you, but they don't have to do it. So, are those public buildings? You know, how does that? If you look at majority of the buildings in this community, except for the newer ones, they have their sprinkler systems and everything else, but you know, there's so many things that are going on that there's not. Go look in some of the restaurants, they're so big and there's so many people that go in to have parties and stuff like, and they don't have that, but they're not locked down. Why is this building locked down? That's the big question. Is it because it's a community-owned building? And if it is, then who gave them the approval to do that? Is the Mohawk Council give them approval to lock those doors? You know?
or did somebody, but I mean, it's like who made the complaint? Excuse me. But is it because there's public money, KSCS programs, whatever, kids, that somebody said, oh, my kid is not safe?
I guess just to get like what we stated earlier, to give like some of the viewers an example of the violations. One of them, which I find the most ridiculous, was electrical panel box left open. The solution: close the electrical panel box. Like that's something you could do. What you pass by it, you close it. Like why is that a reason to
I know,
close
but
building?
if they walk in and they see it, and they're going by a standard list. So the question is, that I could say is, well, why haven't you done it then?
You
The
know,
problem with the electrical panel
dirty-
box being open is dust.
I'm not arguing that it's not a violation, but is that really a reason to shut down an entire building?
No,
All
we're not in
the
disagreement on that
combination
part.
of all
the
of
electrical door was unlocked.
And the comment is, of course it was unlocked. The investigator was coming. We figured he'd want to see it. You know.
It's you know, some of the things is like there's not enough extinguishers. Okay, you just excuse me. You need more extinguishers. Okay, how many do I need? 4. All right, then they'll be here tomorrow. No, we're gonna put a chain on your building instead. It's ridiculous. You know, you have obstructing some of the areas, the hallways. Yeah, it's got to be cleaned up. Thank you for advising us.
So are these
that,
guys,
it's done.
is it a question, the Health Safety Committee having a perceived sort of new set of powers, and they're just going, they're running a little amok with it. Street signs, we're running out of street signs, we'll close theaters down, we'll do this, we'll do that,
I don't
because
know.
we can.
I
Is
think,
that-
I
is that
think
the
that the
perception?
theater, I think that, the theater company should call a lawyer. That would have been my first thing, close me down, I don't care, and I'll be on the phone with a lawyer.
One of the biggest issues that they have with this closing down is like money, and probably if they could even get a lawyer again, it's like money issues and.
It's not a money issue,
But
you're gonna sue the fire department and subsequently,
You know what,
their insurance is gonna pay
there's
for it
a-
anyway. But, it's ridiculous.
Part of this is, excuse me.
I know safety is the issue,
There's a
but-
political solution
but
to
for
some of this
10
too.
but for 10 years, it's been like this, and then all of a sudden, now we're gonna shut you down.
Yeah, and,
just
I mean,
before
but I'm
the
saying, but there's a
holidays.
political solution to some of this too, you know. Before, I mean, council's had some involvement with the theater in terms of that. If you look at the roster of actors, sometimes you'll find at least one chief on there, people work for council. And they seem to be, again, I don't know whether I'm missing it or not, but they seem to be vacant here.
And you know,
in terms of looking at this for a solution, say, hey, guys, come on, wait a second. This is an important program in the community.
Well, I know it was discussed at one of the Monday council meetings, but I don't know what came out of it.
But you see, the thing is, all these are mitigated. They could all be mitigated before anything happens, and without even locking those doors. It's,
But what should have happened, what should have come out of that meeting is you know what? Okay, go talk, get these guys in here, let's talk, okay, about how, look, come on, we need, seriously, let's look at this list here and see how we can make this work for everybody, okay? Take care of what the issues are, okay, and never mind, there's some questions about who owns it, who's responsible, who's the landlord, never mind, look, this theater performs a function in this community that none other does.
but apparently
Okay, make
there
it work.
Apparently there was a few meetings, you know, with all the stakeholders, and I guess they couldn't come to any compromise because it's still closed.
Well, that's just
right?
dumb.
Yeah.
That's just dumb. That's not an opinion.
We
That's
can
just-
find we can
that's just
find a
dumb.
solution for a lot of things, but when it comes to this,
All you gotta do is look at, prioritize it. Prioritize it. You know, people do this in terms of out there, building code violations and so on. You get a list, right? From city inspectors come in and they look at properties. They say, here's a list. And this is what you need to take care of first, second, third, fourth. Don't
but
throw
they
everybody out in
actually,
the
but they
snow.
actually have the authority to do it. Our fire department.
No, but I'm saying
Our fire
they have the
department
authority,
technically
but
doesn't.
apparently, maybe even they have the intelligence to be able to say, let's prioritize this. Don't put people out in the snow. Nobody's
You know,
out on the snow per se,
guess,
but the theater is.
I guess this show will pique some interest, and you know, there'll be more. As far as this is going, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a solution until after the holidays. You know, their shows are already going unless they find an alternate place. And if they're alternate places, the Knights don't have a sprinkler system and all. So what happens there? Do they?
And it's not just as
Do they-
easy as doing that. Like,
I understand that, but I'm saying, what's the alternative? You know, go there, and they're going to shut the Knights down because of you know, those. I doubt that'll happen. Like I said, I honestly think that there's something behind closed doors that we don't know about.
Cloak and dagger stuff.
For something like this to go to that measure, but only time will tell.
Well, if there is, shame on them.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out eventually.